While there's gloves in slap battles that people absolutely love, there's also some gloves that people absolutely hate. However, here are some gloves that are pretty underrated and that I don't think should be as underrated as they are. So let's get started with this video. The first glove we have on this list is Pan, and this is because of Pan's redirect ability. As you can see, the Pan does some pretty good knockback. The Pan also has a chance of being a golden Pan, which literally one-shots the player. Another very nice thing about the Pan glove is that it is a passive ability, meaning it doesn't have a cooldown, meaning you can basically just spam this ability on the entire server, which is very nice. And I hardly ever see anyone use this glove for some reason, even though it's this OP. So I would say that this glove is heavily underrated. The next glove we have is the Lore glove, and I also hardly ever see anyone use this glove for some reason, even though it's pretty OP. This glove is basically a one-shot because after a few seconds, and once you place the whirlpool down, the person who is hit by the Lore glove will get eaten by a shark. Not only is it very satisfying to see them get eaten by a shark, but it's also just very powerful. So I'm not sure why not many people use this glove, even because of the obtainment method that this glove has, which is very hard to get. However, I would say Lure is also pretty underrated. The next glove we have is the Blocked glove, and this glove is very underrated by the community because I hardly ever see anyone use it. However, the reason why the Blocked glove is so good is because it literally blocks the person, meaning they can't slap you. This is very good, especially against one-shots, because one-shots are very powerful, but since they can't slap you, that means that they can't even do anything to you, which is very hilarious. The Blocked glove also doesn't cost that many slaps. I think it's around like 8,000 slaps or something, meaning it's not too hard to get. And like I said, the Blocked glove is very underrated because I hardly ever see anyone use this glove for some reason, so I would say the Blocked glove is very underrated. I know that a lot of people will probably disagree with me on this, but hear me out. The Whirlwind glove, when it first came out, was very powerful. This was because the Whirlwind would literally hit as many people as you could within the time limit before the Whirlwind just disappeared. However, it got a massive nerf which made it so that once the Whirlwind hit one person, then the Whirlwind would just disappear and you would get knocked back. However, I think the Whirlwind glove is still pretty good, and here's why. Basically, the Whirlwind glove is very good because you can do a lot of different combos with it. Basically, you just slap the person and then you use your Whirlwind ability and then you can just hit the person again. This makes it very good for combos. I'd say the only downside to this glove is that it has a long cooldown, but other than that, I'd say the Whirlwind glove is pretty good. The next glove we have is Joust, and I would say Joust is actually a lot like Whirlwind, it's just you can use the ability for extended periods of time. As you can see with Joust, once I get on the horse, I can ride around and hit as many people as I want before the ability just disappears, which is very nice. And the thing about this glove is that it's also very easy to get, so it's a bit more OP than Whirlwind, and it probably doesn't take as long to get as long as you find someone willing to help you. But as you can see, I was able to hit a lot of different people. The only downside to this glove is it doesn't give slaps when you hit people. If it did that, then this would be a very good glove for grinding slaps. But I would say this glove is still pretty underrated by the community. The next glove we have is Voodoo, and Voodoo is basically like a cheap version of Detonator. This is because you can slap the person, create a clone of them, and then you can slap them again. This glove is also a very good way to do combos because it's pretty much impossible to escape the Voodoo clone. I mean, you can literally just slap the person, and then you can just hit the clone, and then you can easily just combo them. It also sometimes ragdolls the person, which makes them get launched even farther. I would say the only downside to this glove is that it isn't a passive ability like Detonator is. You can't slap multiple people, and also you only have a limited time to slap the person to get a clone out of them. So I would say this is like the cheap version of Detonator. However, I'd say this glove is still pretty good and very underrated by the community. The next glove we have is Oven, and oh my gosh, this is probably one of the most annoying and OP gloves in the game, yet I see hardly anyone use it. This is because the Oven is just so OP, especially when people run into it. It's very good because after some time, they just get absolutely launched out of the oven, which is also pretty funny to watch. It's also pretty good because you can like have someone chase you and you can bait them into the oven, which is also pretty nice. The only really downside to this glove is that people can just easily reset so they can get out of the oven quicker. I would say that's the only bad thing about this glove, but other than that, as you can see, it's very effective in trapping people and it's very good. The next glove we have is Magnet, and this glove is very good for combos. This is because you can slap the person and then fling yourself towards them, making it very easy for you to lock them into a combo. This glove is also very good for saving your life, because if there's like a God's hand or a strong glove slapping, you can easily just use the ability and then fling yourself back towards them. This is probably one of the only gloves that can really counter against God's hand very effectively. It's also not very expensive at all. It's only around like 1,000 slaps, meaning anyone can get this glove pretty easily. And I would say that this glove is pretty underrated. I don't really see many people using this. The next glove we have is Anchor, and I know I already mentioned this in one of my recent videos, however, this glove is just so underrated I had to mention it again. I bet one of the main reasons why this glove isn't used very much is because the ability is kind of weird and it's hard to tell what this glove does at first. However, basically what this glove does is when you place down the anchor, anyone who gets slapped by you will get launched in that direction. Another thing about this glove is that it actually has 60 power, which is more than the normal 50 power that a glove normally has, making this glove very good. It's also pretty good because it doesn't cost many slaps as well. I think it's like a little bit over 1,000 slaps, but other than that, it's a very good glove. And those are some gloves that are very underrated in slap battles. If you guys did enjoy this video, leave a like and subscribe. And those are some gloves that are very underrated in slap battles. If you guys did enjoy this video, leave a like and subscribe. And if you guys want to have a part 2 of this video, then just leave a like and we'll see how this video does. And if it does pretty well, then I'll consider making a part 2 of it, because I know there's definitely more underrated gloves in slap battles. But anyways, I will see you guys in the next video.